Ever feel like you're just one click away from, like, digital disaster?
Haha. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Today, we're diving into cybersecurity essentials so we can all navigate this digital world, safely.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, they hear cybersecurity and they think it's all just, super technical, but
Yeah, firewalls and hackers and hoodies.
right, exactly. But it's really about protecting our digital lives, which, let's face it, are pretty intertwined with our actual lives these days.
Definitely. So let's break it down. We hear about cyber attacks all the time, but are we talking about just minor inconveniences here, or can things get really serious?
Oh, they can definitely get serious. Imagine a hospital's entire system being held hostage by ransomware. They can't access patient records, critical
Oh,
systems.
wow.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. Or, I mean, think about identity theft, right? Someone steals your personal information and then bam, they're taking out loans in your name, draining your bank accounts. It can take forever to recover from that.
Okay, so we're talking about real world harm here, not just someone like guessing your password and messing with your playlists.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important point. It's not just about having, one super secret password anymore.
Right, because we have passwords for everything these days.
Exactly. Cybersecurity is really a three-legged stool. People, processes, and technology, and all three have to be strong for it to really work.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Mhm.
So let's start with people then. What are some everyday things we should all be doing to stay safe online?
Well, let's start with those passwords since we were just talking about them. I mean, did you know that a six-character password can be cracked in seconds?
Seriously, that's terrifying.
Yeah, so your password, it's like the foundation of your digital house. You know what I mean? You don't want it crumbling at the first sign of trouble. So make it strong, use a phrase, mix in some numbers, maybe a special character or two.
So password 123 probably won't cut it.
Haha, definitely not. And speaking of easy ways in, we had to talk about email vigilance too. You know that saying, curiosity killed the cat?
Yeah.
Clicking on suspicious attachments, it's like giving malware a free pass into your digital world.
Oh, I've totally fallen for those "you've won the lottery" emails before.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing bad ever happened, but I'm definitely way more cautious now.
Good. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
And on a practical note, something I'm always meaning to do more often, backing up my data, but it feels like one of those things you always put off.
I get it, but that's where those processes come in. Think of backing up your data like having a spare key to your house. If something goes wrong, your computer crashes, your phone gets stolen, whatever, you can recover what's important.
That's a really good way to think about it. It's like insurance for your digital life.
Exactly, you get it. Now, let's kind of zoom out to the bigger picture for a second, because cybersecurity goes way beyond just our individual actions. I mean, think about how much we rely on online banking these days, or shopping, or even just connecting with people.
It's true, almost everything is online in some way now.
Right, and all of that relies on network security, which is basically protecting those systems that connect everything. So it's crucial that those systems are secure.
Wow, it really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? It's not just our own laptops and phones at stake. It's this whole interconnected world that we live in.
Exactly. And just like in the real world, everyone has a role to play in cybersecurity.
So it's like we're all part of this, like, massive digital neighborhood watch
Oh,
kind of.
yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And our strong passwords, our cautious clicking, our regular backups, those are our neighborhood watch signs.
That's a great way to put it. And the more we all understand the basics, the safer we all are.
So to sum it up, cybersecurity, it's a team effort. And by taking those simple steps that we talked about, we can protect ourselves and, do our part to create a safer online world for everyone.
Well said. Now, here's something to think about. How can understanding these cybersecurity basics empower you, not just to survive, but to really thrive in our increasingly digital world?
That's a great question. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into cybersecurity. Thanks for listening.